And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Long Dark, where this is the second part of the stream. We're beginning the process of heading out to the far territories. And as part of that, we're stopping over here in the maintenance shed. We do have some more ruined flour, some more cooking oil, got some running river oats. I'm not going to pick these up right away because I think for the moment I'm going to go out and check to see what the status of potentially putting more meat in the bear meat pile. So we've got a pile of bear meat here. It's looking a little bit threadbare. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't take all the meat back to the garage here. Because, 20 kilograms of meat is heavy. And our character is not a monster and can't necessarily carry tons of gear. So there's decent probability that I have a decent amount left over in the spot where I killed the bear. If I do, there's a decent possibility I did. Or if I did, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start up a fire and cook some more of that bear meat before dragging it back to the maintenance shed. And that'll be a way to be productive for this dusk here. I believe it was just about here. Let's get that wolf off, that's fine. Hiding in the grass. Some of the local wolves have decided to pick on one of the local bunnies. So I get a free kill one way or the other. Where is he? Just over the ridge here? No. There he is. There we go. So I get a bunny. That's definitely not the worst find. I can harvest the hide off of it. We'll have a hide for repairing my gloves in the future. Before getting the aviator cap, I definitely used the rabbit hide. Rabbit hide hat as well. And so there's one drawback of having the rabbit on me is I'm definitely attracting a lot more attention. Local wolves. I'm not having the best time trying to find my kill here. There it is. There's the pup. Okay. So let's get this fire set up. Definitely uncooked meat here, so we definitely got a goal. We got something to do. Not sure how long the weather will hold. If the weather goes screwy, then we'll have to abandon it, but
That did it.
and I also don't necessarily want to use up all that coal. So it's mostly going to be sticks, but sticks are sticks. It's also reasonably warm, so I only want to put sticks in as I need them. In theory, it should take just under an hour for each of these. So I've put an hour in the fire, and we're just going to top the fire up after every cook. That's basically how I'm going to do it. 46 minutes. That gives us some time. Quickly get everything off of this rabbit. And then the next bit is the hide. Hide doesn't smell, so I don't have to worry about carrying that around. But you saw the stuff that smells, I mean, just dropped on the floor. So as not to attract attention. Okay, so that's cooked. Drop that in the pile over here. I'll pick up a rabbit and a bear. Cook the rabbit and the bear. Oh, that's the small piece. In fact, actually, that's perfect. Cook the small pieces.
Feels like night is coming.
So at this point, it should mostly be big pieces, I think. Don't think I quartered the bear. Quartering is one of the ways I'd end up with small pieces. More than one small piece. Whoops. One of those wasn't cooked. I screwed up. There we go. So both those pieces cooked. Rinse and repeat. So I may want to take a break in the cooking here to make a little bit of water. I think we're running a little low on water. Yeah. So, keep it nice and short. We're just going to make a liter of water for the moment. Cook more bear meat. Rinse and repeat. Don't have a severe fire shortage. The weather is good, so everything is good. Keep taking advantage of the good. Well, we're gonna have one spare piece here. It's uncooked. You know, I'll probably make water while that one's cooking. Ooh. I'm a little low on fuel. This is what I get for not taking the opportunity to look for fuel while cooking here. I don't want to take the time to carve the fuel logs up. Would have had to really do that earlier for it to be worthwhile. Got spooked by the wolf there. Don't worry, we're safe. We can just scare the wolf off using our pre-prepared fire here. Here's the wolf. Now, if I was really greedy, I could be hunting the wolf. Need a couple more sticks to get everything cooked that I want. So as I could get them out of torches when I was desperate. This branch will do splendidly. She'll be done getting cooked in now. Okay. Make a liter of water this time. In the one we can use the sticks we just wired. Just enough time. Well, it'll probably be more than enough time. There. Okay. So the question now is, how much do you want more water? That time, if that fire lasts double length, I could probably get another 2 liters out of it. Yeah, let's go for another 2 liters. I'll spurge a little bit and put an extra stick in, just to make sure it goes through. I'm gonna leave the gut, or the meat here. I'm not too worried about the meat. And we'll just take the torch and call it good. The torch will protect us. How heavy am I? Arguably, I can't carry very much. Hopefully the meat pile here is a little bit more visible because it's not in the grass anymore. Might take a couple trips here, because the weather is still really good. Going not quite the right way. Oh, we're definitely attracting more wolves. Was it going the right way? Yep, there's the fence. I think the wolf is still back there. Again, we smell, so it doesn't have to have line of sight to remain following. So we're gonna go add this to the meat pile. I am looking behind myself every once in a while, just because, make sure the wolf doesn't get too close. Oh, wolf in a path. I'm gonna drop all the meat in the pile. We're gonna step inside, drop off the guts. Then I'm gonna make the decision at that point to do I want to go for round 2 of bring over more meat. So there's the meat pile. 5 more kilograms is not a bad haul. And we drop a gut. And the rabbit hide. Rabbit hide will be good to be used in 3 days. Oh, and to save a little bit of carrying capacity, I can drop the ruined one. And I can drop a little bit of water. I can drop most of the water because we're going to come right back here. 3 kilograms of water. because we're exhausted, we are pretty heavy. I think I can go grab at least another 5 kilograms, another pass. And then we'll hydrate. Well, yeah, we'll hydrate, and then we'll sleep for 10 hours. And we'll see what the weather is after we sleep for 10 hours. If the weather's good, we'll head out. If the weather is terrible, we'll sleep for another 2. And again, we're taking a little... In this case, we're taking condition due to being exhausted. Honestly, that's not a problem, because we're basically full condition anyway. And we'll get more as we'll sleep. Sleeping for 10 hours gives you like 40-something condition. And then some of the beds give you even more. Okay, here's the meat pile.
Something's gotta
I don't
go.
accept that we're going to go slow, but picked it all up, so... Well, picked up everything that isn't fat. We left the fat behind, which is fine. Could make cooking oil out of it, but it's definitely not a rush. Okay. I think the proximity caused it to get scared by the wolf coat. Or no, the bear coat. Well, that works. We have the torch protecting us from the... As long as we're careful, the torch will protect us from getting jumped. If the wolf gets it within, like, minimum charge distance before it sees your torch, it will still charge you, so you do need to be a little bit careful. Especially in dense tree areas like this. Because one example where it might get close enough is you got a tree between it and you. So it gets within charge distance, it begins to charge, and then it's too late to scare it off with the torch.
Can't feel my feet.
Oh yeah, and the cold has well, it's early morning at this point. Pre-dawn morning, so the weather this is probably the worst weather of the day. Assuming the weather doesn't actually storm. Oops. I may have lost the ignition there. Yeah. Okay, we'll just have to use the lantern to see where we're going. That's fine. That's why I carry the lantern. Oops, that's not the lantern. That's the lantern. We got our order, so we got enough water. And then our plan is we're probably going to want the oats with us. I might take some of the pickles with us. Make sure to fully hydrated and sleep for 10 hours. And apparently what was left of the night there, we did have a little bit of an aurora. Okay, so if we got decent weather, and it maybe sounds like we don't have decent weather, we'll probably head out.
I'm so thirsty I can't.
Yep, this is not decent traveling weather. You're gonna munch your food. Step back inside so we don't get full damage while waiting for time to pass. I'm gonna turn these torches into sticks, and then we're gonna sleep. Hopefully until the storm goes away. Yeah, well, I could try to make the trip in a blizzard. I kind of don't want to. So at this point, we should be at full fatigue. It sounds like it's still a blizzard. That's a long sprint to go, blizzard. And again, you want to arrive mostly full condition. Oh, got back here. Oh, got rabbit pelt. Picture rabbit pelts here. Must have generate that on the way out to line up with the timeline that I have for myself. How things went. Because I didn't have it here when I was otherwise on the way out. I think didn't have it ready on the way out at least. Okay, that sounds like the weather improved. We'll get underway. Yeah, that's improved weather. Much like the aurora from the previous part on YouTube. This is the transition out of blizzard. It's not technically a blizzard anymore. So we'll see how much progress we can make in this nice weather. I'm hoping to get to the transfer pass depot, the abandoned depot. They'll have to decide which of the 3 ways do I want to take into the Thunder Pass. All 3 require climbing. I gotta go via Forsaken Airfield, which is one I'm less likely to do. Or could go into the zone of contamination, do that way in. That one would be an indoor climb. Whereas the third option, which is just to go straight from the transfer pass, is an outdoor climb. So it'll depend upon the weather, probably, which one of those I take. If it's like super terrible weather, I'll probably actually go zone of contamination. So here's the broken bridge. Back before they had the far territories, this bridge was just broken. There was no way across. After the far territories, there's just enough of a path to get across. Like so. It was an interesting / nice sneaky way of extending a zone without, like, really modifying the zone very much. Sticks. Should pick those up even though we're a little overweight. Because fuel is fuel. Sorry for this bit being a bit dark. It's bright enough for me to move by. I'm going to continue to leave the torch and the lantern off just to consume... Well, the torch to consume, or to conserve matches, the lantern to conserve lantern fuel. Right now this is on my monitor, might not be on yours. My monitor, this is just enough visibility that I can see the railroad tracks in the exterior of the tunnel here. But I can see just flipping between the two monitors, I think what's being streamed is maybe not good enough dynamic resolution for everyone. At least it wouldn't be enough for me. Here's what I've got on my monitor is fine for me. Back and forth across the railroad tracks. I think that's the last of the wagons in this tunnel. Coming up on the collapse bit. I'll have to take the detour out onto the maintenance area, I suppose. There we go. Again, this area apparently right now has just got just enough visibility that my eyes are working to see through it. I might take the path that doesn't require me to do a rope climb, just so I don't have to shed some inventory. Now, the decision on which path I'm taking is decided here, so let's go ahead, drink some water and see how light we are. So yeah, if I wanted to do the rope climb one, I'd have to lose about another 0.5 kilogram of weight. Just keep going straight and take the other route. The other route's a little more likely to have us run into a wolf. Go back in slightly better visibility for people that don't have good eyes. And yeah, there's a wolf. Do I have a way to really go past this wolf? Yeah. Just give me enough space that I don't... Well. Or you can just be scared of my, my coat. And then be not a problem at all. But yeah, the alternate path would have let us out over there. We'd cross the bridge, and then there's a rope climb there. But both passes, we're gonna have to go through this cave over here. This cave is probably not gonna be wide enough for me to get away without lighting a lantern on the torch. So I'll probably do the torch. Or actually, no, I'll probably do the lantern.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
We are going to have to get light enough to... Oh, well, apparently it's even brighter in here. We are going to have to get light enough to do a climb after we get to the depot. So I maybe shouldn't be hogging all the fuel right now, but I am. If I see more coal, I'm definitely picking more coal up, so... Alright, that's too dark for me to see where I'm going. When that occurs, start up the lantern. Now I can see where I'm going. And to be fair, now you can see where I'm going. Let's be fair. Wouldn't be opposed to picking up another 3-ish pieces of coal. It's been a while since I've been in the room down here. We'll take a spin through here. We have been down here before, so there probably isn't anything It doesn't respawn of value, but the coal's valuable.
I need to drop
So,
something.
there we go. There's the 3 pieces of coal. Like, the place we want is actually up there, so I'm going to go back the way we came, go the other route, get up there. Okay, probably more coal than I need, but we can leave some at the transfer pass. Honestly, I should probably leave some matches there as well. Got more matches than I probably need. Save some weight that way as well. Oops. Not that I'm thinking of taking these torches with me. I'm going to leave all the rune torches probably at the end. But picking them up anyway, so they're picked up and moved. Sound turn off, sound turn on. Those that happen sometimes. Games. There it goes again. Not sure how the game decides whether or not it's going to have the background music in, but it does. Okay, this is probably a reasonable place to shed ruin torches. There's a little more speed.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Once more, we're back outside. This is reasonable warmth. This is actually probably pretty good warmth for the time of day. We'll see how far along we can get. I won't need to stop to warm up at this temperature, but I don't know how long this temperature is going to hold. Short bit here, I think I need to crouch. Nope. Oh, here we go. Say a short bit here, I think I need to crouch, and go like, yeah, no, I'm good. Promptly get stuck. Said I was good. One moment too soon. Okay, this big climbing up here is the one place I sometimes run into wolves here. If we don't run into them, we'll just have a casual walk through. Passing through Steely Chasm, apparently. We used on the way out. There is a small cavern over there that you can use to get
Getting
warm.
dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
That when the weather isn't as good, I tend to use. For right now, this is good weather, so we're going to push through because we don't need to warm up. I suppose I did get lucky. We didn't run into any wolves here. This is the only bit where I tend to run into, well, the other bit, besides the lake area, where I tend to run into wolves. One of the reasons I tend to take the climb in the lake area is to avoid the wolves, actually. So we didn't need to do that today. Didn't run into any here, so it should just be a smooth, a little bit quite long walk out to the depot at this point. If the weather turns squirrely, we'll go from walking to running. But I think we'll otherwise make decent time walking. A little overweight, but that's fine. Do an inventory triage before we set out the following day. Actually, thinking about it, to go to where I want to go. It's 2 climbs if I go via the zone of contamination, because I gotta climb up into... I'm stuck on the rock, there we go. Oh, I'm stuck on my old campfire. Gotta climb up into the far territories, and then I'll have to actually climb down 1 rung into the area with the next cabin where we got the key for. I don't know if I need an aurora to advance the tail. If I don't need an aurora, it'll probably be moving pretty quickly. If I do need an aurora, we'll probably take the time to generate a food stockpile there. Visibility here is pretty bad for me, pretty bad for you. I should probably go ahead and start up the lantern. But just as I bring that as an option, we do see the daylight poking through one of the holes in the tunnel cave here. It sounds like we got to transition to an aurora. Good thing I'm past the point where I can run into wolves. At least I think I'm past the point where I can run into wolves. A bit strange that we've got auroras, what, 3 nights back to back now? Oh, I suppose that's true RNG going on. It never happens when you want it, but when you don't want it, you can apparently get auroras back to back to back pretty commonly. So sorry if you're here for the beautiful visuals. I'm in my attempt to conserve resources, or kind of not burning resources, traveling through that bit of the tunnel. Because I had just enough visibility there that I could see where I was going. And now we're outside, shouldn't be a problem for the rest of the episode. It does have an aurora, so we're going to have a pretty nice view here. It is also decent weather. I'm not sure if I've mapped this area. And aurora is not a bad time, because aurora does mean you've got high visibility, which is what you need for mapping. On Interloper, I tend to find you can't map it during the night unless it is an aurora, so you may be able to get a map off. I don't already have a map of the depot. Yeah, aurora visual effects are quite nice. I could, in theory, use the camera I have on me, but we're not going to do that. One day I'll have to take it out to maybe a gold mine or something and take some pretty pictures, but that day is not today. Good thing we're getting close to the transfer depot. We are actually starting to get a little on the chilly side at this point. So I also haven't quite burnt enough fatigue, so we're not necessarily going to sleep through the entire night. So that means I'll be wandering around in the cold early morning instead of the warmer afternoon. But this is definitely not the weather to be going into the unknown. If I end up needing the Aurora to move on the next step of the tail, I might be kicking myself for that, but I don't think I will. There we go. So dusk is officially over. So do I have... I don't think I do. Okay. So this is an appropriate place where we can just map from indoors. There we go. So we've gone ahead and put that on the map. So apparently you just map the loitering march. Got a rough idea of what that bit of the map looks like. And all for very low cost. Okay, time to do some inventory triage. Probably don't need 4 things of cured leather. We can go down to like 2. Probably should start a fire. Make a coal pile, because I don't need 8 pieces of coal. Drop down to at least 6. I picked up charcoal so we could do the mapping. But I probably don't need, again, don't need 8 pieces of charcoal. I'll drop like 2 pieces of charcoal. There is some value in having charcoal, but I don't need tons. I should save enough space to put the bedroll down. Next to the campfire there. Not that I necessarily need it to be next to the campfire, I suppose. But that's just a good place to have the space. I suppose I don't need the film with me. Let's leave the film here. And then I think I should probably have the character eat before he sleeps. Yeah, eat before he sleeps.
Come on.
For that is we're gonna make water and cook porridge, because porridge is our food until we get some hunting done in the area. We'll slightly overcook, because I'm going to need something to... I was going to need something to eat in the morning. Wake up. So it's not just enough to get ourselves filled, but we do want a little bit more past that. Yeah, I think I'm going to make 2 more rounds of porridge so we got something to eat when we wake up. They are inside, so I should not assume that we got spare time on the fire from it being cold. Oops. No, unsafe fuel, or unsafe water. I need to cook that. Don't need much time to cook that, but grabbed it just a little too soon. Now it's bored. Okay, I think that should be a decent amount. Okay, basically 2 full porters to eat as soon as we wake up in the morning, which would be enough to set off the calories. Then we're gonna sleep. I'm gonna tell him he can sleep for 10. He's not gonna sleep that long. He's only gonna sleep for like 6. And this will be a save, so this will be where I put the part break in because I'm over 30 minutes. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. That'll be the part of us going into the far territories. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. Once again, I'm going to take a quick stretch, I think, to go replace the cup of tea I have in front of me, so it'll be a slightly longer stretch, but I'll be right back as soon as that's done. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.